Yeah. Brassy girls everywhere, titty ass hands in the air, so party over here, shaking for the man of the year, man of the year.
What's good, people? Jimmy Bones here. Just want to quickly go over why I think Mass Effect Andromeda is actually a pretty great game. Maybe not great, but good, and really just why I think the reviewers and early adopters, I feel, kind of got it wrong with the review scores and the overall press and release and coverage for the game. First reason I think it doesn't deserve all the flack that it's getting is because the combat, I feel, is better than 2 and 3. The combat's a lot more fluid. The combat, biotic powers, tech powers, there are a lot more of them, and they're a lot more fleshed out and customizable. You can have, a tech power meshed with 2 biotic powers, and then, 2 maybe combat powers combined with a tech power. You can have 4 different sets of favorites, so you can have, 4 different sets of 3. So the combat, dashing from left to right, you can jump up and down with the boost jump, which wasn't available in 2 or 3. It might have been in 3, actually. It's way more fleshed out and way more diverse. Also, the movement is way more fluid. The Nomad makes a return in here. I love driving the Nomad around. Where I think, a negative comes in, though, is that with the story for 2 and 3 are definitely superior to Andromeda, just based on the fact that the characters aren't as, detailed or fleshed out. The characters really just aren't as interesting as 2 or 3. You have a Krogan in Andromeda, Drax, who's pretty interesting, but he's nothing compared to Grunt in, past Mass Effects. You have Solarian, who's not, nearly as cool as Liara. The human, not nearly as cool as Miranda from 2. Another aspect where I think this game shines is in the content variety and, the amount of different worlds. It is truly an open world game. It's truly an open world where you travel from galaxy to galaxy. It's a lengthy, mini cutscene where you travel. And this game, content wise, reminds me so much of The Witcher 3. Like, there's so many galaxies, there's so much content in this game that, it's kind of almost overwhelming with all the side missions. I bounce from side mission to side mission, then go from a main quest, go back to, a couple side missions, and it's great. The loyalty missions for per character make a return as well, which is great. Those missions are really fleshed out. I'm about 25 hours, I think, into the game. I call this maybe a super late early impressions, not even a super late impressions or a very early review, because I'm damn near at the end of the game. I'm at least, I think, 75% through the main story quest. I got a bunch of time in. The crafting is another aspect. Like, it reminds you so much of The Witcher 3 content wise, crafting wise, that you can go and just make the character that you want. Like, you couldn't craft weapons like this in Mass Effect 2 or 3. You can put different mods on the guns. You've seen all the videos where you've upgraded the guns. There's 5 variations of every single gun, and then you add mods on top of that to further flesh out the diversity of your combat experience. There's like 30 different powers in total, abilities, through the bumpers, and then the hotfixes. A lot of content, super open world. Each planet is very different from the other look wise. You can mine for your resources, stuff like that, through the Nomad. But of course, like the negatives with the facial animations and stuff like that, you don't even pay attention to that stuff half the time, because you have your armor on, my helmet, so kind of like hides facial animations. The game isn't completely polished, but I think it's right now definitely probably my game of the year, just because by default, there's really nothing else that came out aside from Resident Evil, which is on average an 8-hour game, which I could have finished probably in 5. It's just the puzzles that kind of held me back by default. I didn't play Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't have a PS4 right now, but I will sometime down the line. It's my game of the year so far, Mass Effect Andromeda. I think it's a great game so far. Content, or the story, definitely isn't as good as 2 or 3, but what can you do? Comment, like, share, subscribe. Jimmy Bones here, and I'm out.